It's now been some time since the release of FNAF 2 the movie devastated the fanbase, but much like the survivors of a nuclear blast must leave their bunkers after radiation has died down, so we too must find something new to pick on in this toxic wasteland. I think stating that the first movie had a troubled production will be about as insightful as saying Tuesday comes after Monday, but I do see a need to remind you folks that 8 years is a lot of time, and especially since the FNAF fandom reached a sort of peak during that time, a lot of people wanted a FNAF movie before the original was development hell, giving birth to many fascinating projects.
Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear, and
A Disney FNAF movie was not one of them. Yeah, sorry if the title seems a little bit clickbaity, but I couldn't think of a better one. What, you thought Mick would let people die in his family-friendly PG-13 movie with his ugly mug on the cover? Hell nah. That said, for years I was fascinated by those images floating around the internet. Where did they originate? Was there one author behind them all? Were they lost media of some fan project gone wrong? Perhaps true sneak peeks of an animated fan film I never heard about under my digital rock? As it turns out, it's neither of these things.
No, unacceptable.
Yeah, I thought this was the world's deepest of dives, but nah, the author is like the 5th Google search result. Cos Perry, aka Cosmo, is a Californian artist who loves to the Disney and, to a farthest extent, Neopets internet era style. He actually does a bunch of this stuff, some of which I'll show on screen, and the FNAF art, while far from negligible, is actually only a small chunk of change compared to his other work. From his archives on DeviantArt, and the stuff I managed to piece together from actually reliable sources, a sort of unreliable ones, which I'll probably get to later, I pieced together that he has a very boomerish, if that's a word, attitude towards newer video games, with the exception for FNAF, and fell in love with the concept at first sight. His first work on the topic, Pizza Time Theater, released on November 17th, 2014, just a week after the FNAF 2 the video game. You know, the good FNAF 2. The description states he was afraid to post this in the first place, only afraid to blow up, which means we're one mouse click away from being robbed of this masterpiece forever. Thankfully we don't live in that dystopia of a timeline, and we get to enjoy this work. From the footage playing now, I hope you can forgive younger me, and even me a few weeks back, for genuinely believing this could be stuff released to hype of actual fan film. This stuff looks like someone resurrected Walt Disney, gave him a pen, the original FNAF lore book, and told him not to talk about the Jews and what the magic happened. He even did some movie posters which... Right, I think I can excuse young me for being an idiot, that's enough covering my own ass, time for an actual meat and potatoes. I mean, now that I think about it, the original Griffinzilla cover art uses his work and he's literally credited there. So you know what, maybe I can excuse young me for being stupid by not noticing this stuff. I'm sure those of you born before the age of the internet can still remember the time Yeltsin ran around DC completely butt naked. The art style is based on the work of Don Bluth, the creator of The Land Before Time and Anastasia, and also Titan AE, which, alongside the way he ran Don Bluth Entertainment, really shows you as far better than drawing that he was at anything related to finance. By the way, quick note for anyone who wants to explore his work further. Not all FNAF works are in his FNAF folder. Sure, some, like his FNAF to go to the movies thingy, are not in it. Just thought I should mention this. He also has a YouTube channel you should sub to. Anyways, this will be all I wanted to actually talk about, but I still need to milk this video for runtime, so let's talk fan stuff. Firstly, he got a bunch of articles on the Disney Fanon Wiki, ones that actually created a sort of lore backbone for the movies, making them into actual feature-length plots that would be significantly better than the crap we got in December. I mean, the folks here literally made their own trailer transcripts, the full movie transcript, even if it's gutted to shit by trolls, fan art of Cosmo's art. Like, those guys in 2017 were putting in more work than all the lazy morons on Bumhouse Entertainment, and those guys got paid for it. Of course, they do adopt and ignore some points as they go for the sake of convenience. For example, they adopt Cosmo's plot point of Springtrap turning against after an Urpil guy and killing him as they both go in flames. But in the FNAF 3 article, they pretend the puppet doesn't exist in spite of Cosmo suggesting it would be a sort of major deuteragonist. For laymen like me, that means sidekick. But they just kinda brush it off and threw the puppet in the same bag as the rest of the characters. Also, just wanted to point out, in the lore of these movies, they get worse and worse over time, but they still get made and they get great reviews and people continue to upload the slop. I'm sure this is absolutely not similar to real life, no sorry. Also, some guy in Reddit made an actual DVD box for the movies. I mean, he did just print out Cosmo's work and put it on a bland box, so I'm not sure how much work this would actually take, but it does exist, this has to account for something, right? Okay, that's all, bye!